Hey everyone, it's your girl Layla. Welcome back to my channel. So we are doing my fourth episode of Spooktober for 2024. October has a lot of Wednesdays, so I do have one left for next week. But in this week's episode, we are going to be talking about the Moore House located in Carleton Place, Ontario. So I did go here a couple years ago. This was part of my Ontario trip. I did visit a couple haunted locations while I was there because I did actually go there in October. So I wanted to get some cool creepy footage for the month and all that, but I never posted this one. I never did any research on it and I never posted it until now. I was kind of like, what do I do for this week? There's a lot of options. I did a ghost tour last week. It was honestly not what I was expecting it to be. I did one here in Calgary, by the way. So I decided that I would take some of my old footage, go through it, and do some research on the Moore House. And I actually liked how it turned out because I ended up going from Ottawa on a road trip to Carleton Place just to visit the Moore House and have brunch because there's some really amazing brunch spots there. It's like a really cute small town. So I decided to showcase that in today's episode of Spooktober. We're going everywhere. We're going from Alberta to Saskatchewan, now to Ontario, and then we're going back to Alberta for the last episode. I do hope you guys enjoy this one, and let's get started. If you are not already subscribed, please go ahead, click that subscribe button below. I upload 3 times a week, Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday, and all of my Wednesday episodes for the month of October are spooky. So let's get right into the Moore House. The Moore House was built in 1850 by settlers from Ireland, Nathaniel Moore, as well as his wife, Margaret Pearson. They had 4 children, William, James, Richard, as well as Jane Ann, aka Rosie. James, who was the Moore's oldest son, came to inherit the home, and he had 5 children here with his wife. They were Nathaniel, John, Clara, Ida Louise, and Ernest. The Moore's 3rd child, Ida, was a very talented musician. She loved playing the piano, and people believe that one day she would become a musical teacher or someone prominent in the music industry. Now, by 1900, Ida unfortunately caught tuberculosis, which was very common in the early 1900s, and it was very common to die from getting tuberculosis. Ida was only 20 when she passed away. She was buried at the St. James Anglican Cemetery. The Moore House was eventually converted into a general store and eventually sold. And now when the property changed hands, that's when interesting, unusual things started to happen. There were unusual sounds, changes in temperature, like it would go from hot to cold and back again. Windows would open and close just on their own. The radios would turn off and on, and there would be footsteps heard walking around when no one else was in the home. Eventually, employees of the store refused to work there alone, and then the store had issues keeping employees at all. In 2006, the building was eventually donated to the town of Carleton Place, and it was relocated to its current location, which is on Bridge Street. Ida Moore is said to still be there today, and employees hear her all the time, pacing back and forth from the 2nd floor, as well as someone walking up and down the stairs constantly, distracting employees from their work. Lavender can occasionally be smelled from time to time, and paranormal researchers conclude that lavender is a sign of a friendly ghost because lavender symbolizes purity, faith, and love. People walking past the Moore House can also sometimes see Ida's apparition staring at them from one of the windows. Ida's spirit is said to be friendly, light, and more of a jokester and a prankster, like how she was when she was alive. And she is said to love pranking young men who enter the home. Now, over the years, there has been plenty of paranormal researchers that went to the Moore House to do some investigations, along with spirit box sessions, and Ida can actually sometimes be heard on these recordings. So I watched a couple of these investigations on YouTube, but there's plenty to look for online. Hours and hours of spirit box sessions and paranormal researchers. I think they did one back in 2013 as well as back in 2017. They did a bigger one, and you can definitely hear Ida from time to time agreeing, saying yes, and you can also hear her playing a piano from time to time. And multiple photos have been taken of the Moore House over the years. There's been orbs seen around the Moore House, as well as this photo. I don't know how to explain this photo. I'll try to include it somewhere on the screen, but it's basically a chair, and they say that they've caught a ghost on camera. Ida Moore, a beloved 20-year-old musician from Carleton Place, Ontario, died unexpectedly back in 1900 when she was only 20 years old, and she still haunts the Moore House today. Today, the Moore House is a Carleton Place Chamber of Commerce as well as a museum. So you can visit the Moore House anytime you want, well, when it's open anyways. It is a museum, and it features a lot of Roy Brown memorabilia. Now, Roy Brown was from Ontario, and he's a Canadian World War I flying ace, and there's a lot of Roy Brown exhibits there at the museum. So it's a very interesting place to visit, and if you are around Ottawa, it is a nice little like day trip. It doesn't take too long to get there. I think it was only like an hour, hour and a half tops, and it's just a cute little town there, and you can grab brunch, walk around. There's some really cool buildings to look at. This is definitely like an older town, but I did enjoy my time there, and I think the fall honestly is the best time to visit Carleton Place, Ontario, just because the weather and everything is perfect. So let's get into the tour, because I did take some video clips. I don't think I video clipped the whole thing. I honestly haven't really gone through my footage yet. I went back to my old phone and just sent myself a bunch of footage that I took here at the Moore House. So I do hope you guys enjoyed the tour, and let's include that right now. So that is all for this video. I do hope you guys enjoyed this one. I hope it was spooky enough for you, even though Ida seems to be a friendly, light-hearted prankster ghost. I had fun filming it for you. And I will see you guys next week with my last episode of Spooktober 2024. I'm still unsure of where I want to take you guys next week, but I don't have any more out-of-province footage that I can capture or show you or anything like that, so it's going to be something local. Yeah, that is all for this one. I will see you guys soon with a new video. If you are not already subscribed, please go ahead, click that subscribe button below. I upload 3 times a week, Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday, and as I've mentioned, all my Wednesday videos in October are going to be spooky. So I'll see you guys next week with a new Spooktober video. Bye!